everyone, this is Keya with Hariyatma Yoga Herbs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on day 3 of our HO2 cleanse, and we have started on 12-12-12, and we're now on 12-14-12. And do I have 2 callers on the line right now?
Yes, okay.
Hi, who is Vanessa?
Yes,
And who else is on?
Mallory.
Hi, Mallory.
Hi.
So thank you both for being here. So some of you, I know this is the 3rd day, so this is actually you're winding down towards the end of the cleanse. Mallory, how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good. Really good. I thought I was going to be a little bit more weak, but I'm actually not.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what about you, Vanessa? You're on day 2 now, right?
I'm on day 2, and I'm just as happy as I can be.
Yay!
And I love, like, it's tough with the bathroom, like, with the bathroom, especially in my alcohol water.
I'm sorry, Vanessa, I can't hear you that well.
Oh, okay. Just a moment.
Okay.
I don't like using the restroom as much as I go in, but I know it's so good for me, so my body feels so amazing, alive, pulling out, all the chemical toxins. It feels amazing, so
Wow.
it's nice.
That is awesome. And you're so when did you started yesterday morning with your tonic?
Yesterday morning, right now I'm on day 2. I finished it today.
And you took the capsules last night.
Oh my gosh. That was just taking that many capsules.
I know. Everyone has a different challenge with it.
I did it though, so I feel good.
How did the girls do? Because what Vanessa's doing is she's including her daughters in the cleanse, giving them HO2 tonic by itself without the capsules for the 3 days so that they can sort of be a part of the whole process.
Yes.
So how are they doing so far?
They're doing great. I had a young girl who was a client of mine come over yesterday, and she also does yoga, so we were all doing yoga together. And Jada was just passing gas. I mean, I've never heard gas like this in my life. We were just laughing. I'm like, well, she's on this cleanse, so at least it's all getting out and moving.
Yes.
Oh, boy, they're doing well.
Awesome. So on this Friday, where are you guys in the journey? Because I know one of the things that I suggested for those of you who are ending your 3 days today is to see how you're feeling, and if you're feeling pretty good, you may want to extend your cleanse, or you may want to extend the diet. So a lot of times, just depending on what's going on in your life, maybe extending the herbs isn't possible right now, but you can also keep the diet going at least for 9 days up until next Friday, 12/21, which is another powerful day that we're entering into winter solstice.
Yes, I plan on doing that. I've been doing a lot of reading on 12/21/12, and so I'm like, I have to stay on the spiritual path, meditation, and just, no negativity around me, eating as healthy as possible, as raw as possible, so I'm going to stay on track, definitely.
This is awesome. Yay! And so I know with Vanessa, we actually are working privately with yoga, and so for the past few weeks she's been really adding to her practice so much of the breath work and the mantra and the yoga practice that we've included in the cleanse. And so I've been posting a few different videos for you guys to be able to sort of get a taste of some of this yoga for your abs and for your diaphragm. And then today I'll be posting, I actually filmed a short video before this call that is featuring a very special meditation that includes breath, mudra, and mantra. And it's a little bit of a lengthier video. It's about a 20-minute video, but most of it is taught to really break down what it is that you're doing in this meditation. It's a very powerful meditation. I hope that you'll take time to go to the website and look at it. For those of you who are in the cleanse group that are listening to this call, or watching the video, you'll have the video sent out to you in our cleanse email that we send out. But for anyone else that's sort of exploring this process of the HO2 cleanse, go check out on the video, on my video tab on hariatma.com, HARIATMA.com. Check that video out. It's called Soul Darshan Chakra Meditation is what I have it listed at, and it's day 3. We're on day 3 of the HO2 cleanse, so look out for that. It's a meditation because what I'm trying to do here is get not only internally your body in balance, but physically getting you into a practice where you are using yoga and breathing and meditation as a tool to help with the cleanse, but also to enhance your life. And even if just 5 minutes a day, just having that consistency of movement and meditation will make a huge difference in how you move through your day. Vanessa, can you talk a little bit about how the past few weeks doing videos at home on your own with your daughters, and then when we practice in person, like how it's helped, just starting out, how it's already sort of helped in your life? Have you noticed much difference?
More my body. I feel strong, feel alive, you know. I don't know, it's just different way of feeling, you know, that it's just an awakening to me. So I know that this is a lifestyle change, something that I want you to put it in my face, kind of the health ground, you feel. So what maybe my girl feel with me, it's a movement within also that happening, and those are fine. You know, sometimes you just sit around, like, I have nothing to do. The amazing thing is you can stretch, you can try new movements, you can walk your life, you can walk your life, you're something, you know.
Right, right.
You know, there's no such thing as me. By myself, you know, I'm off campus. I love that.
Right. Your phone is breaking up just a little bit, so I'm going to try to summarize what you just said so that everyone is clear that what the big part of what I heard you say was that you really wanted a lifestyle enhancement, and just having your daughters included in the process has been amazing. And I know that for me working with you, it's been inspiring because I could sense your sense of urgency. It was like, you know what, this is really important. This means a lot, not just for me, but I thought it was so compassionate of you to include your daughters in the process, and seeing how, as a family, you know, in the class, we've been able to really work. Everybody gets what they need, and I appreciate that, you know, about your choice in including them, and even including them, you know, in the cleanse process with the herbs, so that it's not just something that mommy's doing that they're not even that clear about, but you're planting this seed so early on. That's really important with our children to plant. And I think that, I know as a yoga teacher, I have a son who's 9, and when he was a baby, a lot of what I did, the meditations and the mantra, I would do with him while I was nursing him. And then as he got bigger, I would just continue to always put my mat out and practice in front of him, not forcing him to be a part of it, but just having it be around him so that he knew that at any moment he can join down on my mat and leave freely as he wanted to as well. So it wasn't, I didn't want him to have this idea around yoga that felt like he had to do. I wanted him to experience it, plant the seed, and then eventually that seed will grow. When it grows has got to be totally up to him. And so I just always appreciate when moms and parents, dads, keep the children around while you're doing these practices. And of course, you need your me time. You need your time to go and nourish yourself as well. So scheduling time out to go out and do those things on your own that you need to do to fuel your spirit as well. And then Mallory, I know Mallory, right now we're actually working on getting some private sessions going as well. And just overall getting her a sense of getting her closer to her goals in balancing out her life, busy life. But Mallory, is there has there been anything that you've been able to include, whether it be some of the yoga that we've shared, or I know you were talking about running. Like, have you seen any changes or feeling any sort of connection physically throughout your cleanse process?
Um, yeah, actually I worked on the videos that you posted yesterday about
Uh-huh.
the stomach and getting that.
Yeah.
I actually did that. It was quite interesting. I've actually never heard of that, but it helped
Wow.
move everything around. Yeah, I'm running and I'm trying to do your yoga that you have online and getting my body to do that as well. I think it takes a process, and I'm happy that I get to work with you. It's the chronic fatigue is like disabling for me, and to be able to work with you and have um, this part of my life actually start working again would be amazing. And I think this is like one of the first steps I'm taking to have a more healthier life. But it's like, yeah, it's a process.
Right. And did you you phone broke up a little bit too, but did you say, what was it that you said that you're dealing with?
Chronic fatigue.
Chronic fatigue. I just wanted to clarify and point that out for anyone listening, because that's something that I think many of us knowingly and sometimes unknowingly are dealing with. And as I talked with Mallory about it, a lot of times with chronic fatigue, you can add in exercise, you can change your diet, and then still feel this overwhelming sense of tiredness and fuzziness. And a lot of times what it is an emotional fatigue is really what it should appropriately be called. And it comes into our lives for different reasons, different times, different spaces that we're in. And what's most important is to sort of honor it, acknowledge it, and then take different steps. Diet, of course, exercise, of course, and then most importantly, some form of meditation that is powerful enough for you to release some of the emotional things that may be blocking you. Really addressing some of the voids is really what I've found over the years dealing with emotional fatigue or dealing with chronic fatigue. Just really identifying and filling those emotional voids that can be present in our lives. And so it's so funny when you cleanse, it sounds like, oh, I'm just doing this cool, diet thing. I'm doing this cool vegan alkaline diet and I'm drinking these cool tonics. But it's also a process that brings up all these things that sometimes we get very comfortable in hiding about ourselves. And so because we're bringing up the toxins and everything to the surface, there's a lot of emotions that rise with it as well. There's another video that I have on my site where I talk about some essential oils and a meditation that I gave for help with combating some of this emotional fatigue. And I think that is fantastic, Mallory, that you are identified with it, and are taking the steps to bring it more into balance in your life. It's something that we all, I think, at one time or another go through. And so I really wanted to sort of highlight that, because I've had many people, many clients over the years come to me with that sort of issue. And so it's one that gets us, and we sort of just keep layering things on top of it. But I also wanted to point out, first I want to ask, do either of you have any questions that you've had? Are either of you planning to continue the diet or continue the herbs for a little bit longer? What are you intending on taking? How do you intend to move this forward from this day? How do you intend to move forward in your cleanse from this day? Being that I know Vanessa, you're on day 2, so your day 3 is tomorrow. But after you've hit your day 3 mark, how do you plan to move forward? Will you be including sticking with the diet, continuing the diet for 9 days, or continuing the diet for 30 days? Or, will you just be sort of including some of what you've learned in your lifestyle? I just always like to know how people plan to transition out of the cleanse, what some of the changes have been for you, and how you plan to keep this moving forward in your life. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is this Vanessa?
Vanessa, can you give me a moment? I have to use the restroom.
Okay, no problem. No problem. It just went silent for a second, and I was like, oh no, did everybody drop off the call?
You can see. Feel free to answer that. I guess I can answer. For me, I'm gonna continue on with the food.
Okay, good.
Extremely tasteful. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm a meat eater, and I love my meat. But it was like the first time I started eating without meat, and everything that I ate so far is really tasteful, and I can see myself doing it for a while. So I'm gonna continue on with the meat diet.
Okay.
Crucial, I think, for me to do it. It's not like a choice anymore. Like I need to do it.
I love it. I love that and that dedication that you're showing already. And what have been some of your favorite recipes so far on the cleanse?
I love the Ezekiel sandwich that you have.
Uh-huh.
The bread, Ezekiel bread, and all the veggies that are inside there.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of avocado, so anything with avocado. And then I love the salad as well.
Awesome.
Very filling. Yeah, it's been great. So I'll continue to do that, and great. And yeah, you can go on with this journey.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds good. And what I'll do is while we're waiting for Vanessa to come back, I'll share some of the questions. I know that Heidi, who was on our call, our kickoff call on Monday, or I'm sorry, on Wednesday of this week, we had our kickoff call. Heidi has raised some really good questions that I've been posting on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page. So if you haven't done so yet, be sure to go to the Facebook page and like it, because what you'll find there is, I know that we're in different time zones. We have people participating in the group cleanse from as far as Savannah, Georgia, as far as Encinitas, California, and what you'll find is that everyone that's participating really shows up on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page and have been really posting their intentions, some of the questions that they've had while cleansing, and just really brought that page to life and made it a resource so that we can all stay connected whether or not we're able to join the group calls or not. We actually have about 12 people that are a part of this cleanse signed up. But on each call, we've had about 2 or 3 callers call in, which is great because you kind of get that personal one-on-one time. But the great thing about this cleanse is that there's a callback number so that everyone is able to play back this call and hear it, the teleconference in its entirety, immediately after we're done with the call. And then I also video record the call so that you're able to watch it as a video if you like as well. So there's a lot of different options for staying connected that are within your schedule. And if you're sort of scratching your head and thinking like, well, how can I be a part of this? Did I miss it? You didn't miss the boat. This cleanse goes on every month. And you can look on my website, hariatma.com, HARIATMA.com, to see what the upcoming dates are. And so jump in. But one of the questions that Heidi raised was she wasn't sure about popcorn. She said, that's on the no-no list, and I don't know if I'm supposed to have it.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, yes. And so she said it wasn't there because I didn't have it on the no-no list, but it's not on the yes list. And so it's not something that you want to consume a lot of while you're cleansing. I would save it as sort of that one of your cleanse cheats, quote unquote, not to overdo, and to, of course, do it organic, because corn, as you know, there's whole documentaries written around corn, wheat, and soy, and some of the dangers of consuming that, knowing that most of them are processed with GMOs and the type of residues that it leaves in your body. So when you're doing a cleanse like this, be sure that if you are having things that are a little bit off the list, that they are organic, so you're not putting back in acidic product and overtaxing the liver. One of the other things that I want to clarify, on our last call, we had a good question raised by Pablo, who's doing the cleanse here. He's a recent transplant from San Francisco. and he's actually having a great time on the cleanse. He joined us via chat, and one of his questions was about fruits and veggies. If this was okay to venture off and have other fruits and vegetables that aren't on the list. And I thought more about that question when we got off, and I wanted to be clear about one thing. This, of course, is a list that is not to be taken in stone, so there is room for you to add things. But on that list, it is not listed as seasonal. So a lot of the fruits and veggies that I have on the list are my staple superfoods that I like to include because of their alkalinity and because of their nutrition content. And so, with that being said, all throughout the seasons, if you're going to farmers markets, there's going to be other fruits and veggies that come into season that are also equally nutrient dense. But I try to stick to the foods that I know most people are familiar with, and the veggies that most people are familiar with, and they're accessible pretty much year round. But ideally, you are really tapping into your resources for your farmers markets and your independent grocers that keep local produce circulating, so that when things come in seasons such as persimmons or cherimoyas, more exotic fruits that aren't as common to the palate but are also really good fruits. Jujubes come into the farmers market and they're incredibly high in iron. And so these are all things that yes, have them and have lots of it. Just be sure that whatever you're getting is organic, preferably locally grown. That's not always possible, but be sure that it's in season. Most of the time, the things that are imported, if it's imported, even if it's organic and it's imported, that means that it's out of season. So a lot of times what you see in your locally grown section of your grocery store, whether it be organic or not, those things are generally in season because they're coming from the local farmers in the area. So that's just an important note that I want to be sure that everyone is clear on. Not, if you went to the farmer's market or you went to your grocery and you saw these great exotic fruits that are in season and you go, oh, that's not on the list. Definitely include that variety, that spectrum of foods that are in season. Very, very important. And our bodies actually gravitate towards fruits and vegetables that are in season, which is one of the reasons why I love personally to attend the farmers markets or attend the independent grocers or the grocers that supply lots of local pesticide-free veggies. I talked a little bit about this on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page, a little bit more in detail. I posted a whole link on the dirty dozen foods that you absolutely do not want to have not organic because they're so loaded down with pesticides. There's a CNN report that lists the dirty dozen, and then it also lists what they call the clean 15, which are foods that you don't necessarily have to get organic because they use either low or no pesticides in production. So this is helpful. I know for me it cut my grocery bill in half just knowing that. So then, you can sort of play around with where you're getting your fruits and veggies from. That list again is on the HO2 Cleanse Facebook page. So check that out. Like the page. Go check it out. But Vanessa, did I just hear your voice? Are you back on the call?
Yes, I'm here. I can listen.
Okay.
Now, as you're talking about the organic food and making sure it's grown, I'm at Sprout. I have to check out Van. So, Magnet says, like, now I'm really, this takes it to another level. So it's grown in the USA. Okay, but we're in the USA, So I should see it.
Right. What I like to do is when I go to Sprouts is actually pretty cool because they do have a nice big organic section, and I do see a lot of locally grown foods there. But what I like to do with especially independent grocers like Sprouts is a little bit more independent. I know they have some chains in different places, but if you go to the produce manager, just go ask for the produce manager, and there's always a produce manager. And you speak to the produce manager and you ask them where they source their locally grown foods from. Where exactly? Are they mostly from California? Are they from the farmers? Do the farmers bring it to them direct? And then a lot of times, sometimes the produce manager will know these answers, and sometimes you'll have to do a little bit of investigating on your own. So sometimes the produce manager can tell you, they can always tell you what farms their foods are supplied from. And so I've taken farm names before and actually called the farms and asked them, you know, which farmers markets are you visible at? Are your fruits and vegetables pesticide free? You know, questions like that. And you can get a sense from your talk with someone how real they're being with you. And so that's been really helpful, because what I've done is found that a lot of independent grocers, sort of off the grid, will be supplied by locally grown farmers direct. And if you talk to the farmers, you can find out maybe they're not using pesticides, because a lot of farmers use organic practices, but they're not able to afford the organic label and all the they don't want all the government things that come along with that. Some people say that they're pesticide free and they're really not. So it's really one of those things that you've got to, I like going to the farmers markets for that reason, because I can really feel the person's energy.
Right.
And you can tell if they're being genuine and if they're not. And so those are kind of some of the things that I like to do, just to like, and once you do it once, then you know. And then you can just feel comfortable that when you go to that grocery, that these, you know, you will see a consistency in the farm, the labels on the food, the farms that they're coming from, because the farmers always put the label of their farm on the food as well, in the ties. You'll see boxes with the labels of the farmers. So it's really not that difficult. It takes a little bit of investigation, but once you find the places that work and that have sort of a good relationship in that way, then you're able to save quite a bit of money. You know, instead of going to sort of the big grocery chains where they charge a little bit more for the food.
Okay, yeah. That's good information, because I never really thought about that. How the farmers market is so vital.
Yeah. Yeah.
As best as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then you
I was just going to add about the, I forgot the other lady who's on the call with us.
Mallory?
Mallory, about the fatigue. And I was going to say, just like what you said about the oils, Keya.
Yes.
And when you're talking about those different oils, I forgot the name of
Frankincense.
What is it?
I think it's frankincense. I mentioned frankincense. Yeah.
I went to my herbal, like my essential oil books, and I looked them up right away. So I'm like, oh, this is great. Now I know what these oils are, and you know your stamp of approval. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get them. But they really free your mind. You know what I'm saying? They just really just talk to the brain and help the brain just calm down from that ease. They just ease the mind. You know, and just relax you. Like I pray. You can look this every time I get in the shower. You know, and my mind, I just need just have too much going on, just always be mentally exhausted. But since I've been using oils, I just, you just get free. It just builds the mental strength. I'll just say, I'm going to stamp on that too.
Yay!
All of them, because you're definitely going to need them.
And if anybody wants, it's so funny, I didn't plan this at all, but we got into this nice little discussion about essential oils, and just to sort of piggyback on this discussion, for those of you out there who want to try a little bit of essential oils out, I'll actually be doing a free demonstration tomorrow, December 15th, at Whole Foods Market in West Hollywood, inside the Lifestyle store, which is right next to the Whole Foods Market. They have a holiday fair that's going on from 11 to 4, and I'll be there between 12 and 4 p.m. doing free demonstrations on how to make and create your own detoxifying essential oil blends in a room spray that you can use for your house, for your car, or you can use it while you're on the plane. And the best part about it is you get to take home what you make. So you'll get a free detoxifying holiday themed essential oil spray to take home. So I hope that some of you in the cleanse will join us if that's close by your home. I know Mallory, I think you live around the corner from there.
Yeah, I think I crossed the street.
Yeah, so this is a great way to sort of start out and experiment a little bit with oils.
Wait a second. West Hollywood, is that one off of Third?
No. The West Hollywood one is a little bit further up Fairfax. The West Hollywood one is on Fairfax and Santa Monica Boulevard. Those are the cross streets.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because they're one of the only Whole Foods that has a lifestyle store separate. Most of the Whole Foods have their clothing and lifestyle items inside the store, but they're one of the few that has a store separate for all of their oils and creams and clothing, items that complement the Whole Foods lifestyle. So,
Did you say that's a cost?
I'm sorry?
Is there a fee or a admission fee?
No, it's a free demonstration. There'll actually be other people there as well. I'll be one of the vendors that are there, but I'll be actually leading a presentation. I'll be, I think, the only one leading this special presentation on the oils that you guys will get to take home. Yeah, so come, you can pop in anytime between 12 and 4. The demos I'll be running repeatedly over and over during that time frame. And yeah, so it shouldn't be long. It should be no more than, 10 or 15 minutes, for the demo's duration. And it'll be fun. It'll just be a fun way to learn how to play around with essential oils. So also be a great holiday gift for yourself, and then you can go and duplicate it and give it out to some of your friends and family.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, so that's coming up tomorrow, actually. And then, so Vanessa, if you can speak a little bit, I think we're going to wrap up, but I want you to speak a little bit about what your intention is moving forward. After your 3 days, you'll be at your 3-day mark tomorrow. How do you see yourself moving forward with what you've learned so far?
I'm going to keep up the yoga. I try to do it in the morning and in the evening. And of course, I'm going to keep my diet up. My diet has been very important to me for, quite a few years now. So I just want to enhance that. And like I said, eat more raw. And just a lot of meditation. And unfortunately, I could have done the 9 days. So preparing myself to the 9 days. For the new day, you're going to be doing another one, right?
Yeah. Vanessa's already planning for 1/11/2013 is our next one. And so that, I think that's actually a good way to do it. Starting out like you're sort of like wetting your feet with the 3-day, and then she's going to move a little bit deeper in with the 9-day in January. We'll be having for 2013, our dates so far are 1/11/2013. That also is on a new moon, and then 2/10/2013, which I'm excited about because that's the Lunar New Year. So we're moving into, in 2013, the year of the water snake. And so that year, the water snake, really represents our intuitive depth. It is a representation of great wisdom, great spiritual journey, and intuitive depth. And so a lot of great energy that we're moving into for next year. We're coming out of the 2012, for those of you that weren't aware, the 2012 Chinese astrological year representation was the year of the water dragon. And so the water dragon was about magic, about anything that you dwelled on would really just appear into your life almost magically. And it was pretty incredible for me to watch that happen in my own life over and over throughout this year. And then we're taking that energy, we're moving into the water snake, which again is just more about really, really getting deep into that spiritual journey and really listening to your intuitive guides, your intuitive guidance. The water snake, sometimes the snake can have in the West a negative connotation, but in Eastern culture, it's very highly revered. So that's what we're moving into. But is there anything else that I can address while we're here on the call?
I
The kobacha squash.
Yeah, now can I just use like spaghetti squash? Like I'm just confused about the squash.
Well, here's what I encourage. If you've never tried kobacha squash, try it because it is.
I can't find it.
Well, sometimes it's known as pumpkin squash. Most stores, Sprouts would definitely have had it. I've picked it up.
So frustrating.
They couldn't find it for you.
Well, I'm gonna just ask. I'm gonna do that. When I didn't ask you, so I was kind of in and out. I'm gonna go ahead and ask.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm telling you, most grocery stores, Ralph's, independent grocers, Sprouts, Whole Foods, they all have kobacha squash. It's a very common squash, but it's also known as pumpkin squash. It's a green squash that looks like a green pumpkin is what it looks like. And the texture, I find it to be so rich. It's a richer texture than any of the other squashes. It almost has the consistency of an egg yolk. And so it's nice. If you've never tried it, try it. Because it's a lot different, the texture, than spaghetti squash. And of course, if you love spaghetti squash, go for it. Any of the winter squashes are going to be fantastic for you this time of year.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that squash. It's so beautifully. The picture was, oh my gosh, like I have to have it. It's so pretty.
Yay.
And then, yeah, I make it.
So if there are no more questions, is there anything else that we can talk about before we wrap up?
Sounds good on my side.
Okay. So first, I want to thank you both for being on the call. It's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure to do this cleanse. For those of you who are ending your cleanse today, thank you for joining the group. I hope that you've learned and lived and experienced something transformational just in this short 3 days. Please, please, please go to the Facebook HO2 Cleanse page and post some of your thoughts, some of your experiences, some of your triumphs, your challenges on the page for the benefit of the community of cleansers that will be going there as a resource. If you are wanting to stay more anonymous, I can respect that. Please shoot me an email and I will post an anonymous post on your behalf so that you are well protected in your world. But anyone else, if you're just joining this call, just curious about what's going on, all of the information is on my website, hariatma.com, hariatma.com. I hope to see you in one of the upcoming cleanses. Feel free to reach out and join us tomorrow for the Whole Food Special Workshop or any of the upcoming events at Hariatma Yoga Herbs. Peace, love, and light to you all. Thank you so much for being a part of this process with me. Bye-bye.
Yeah.